So first of all, we'll ask Blake. Should you remember your partner's number? Do you remember Justine's number?
Only up until recently. I didn't believe it was a thing, and I still don't.
Yes! It might be a male thing.
We kind of had that experience in Taiwan at the markets when Nicole was back at home and we didn't really know how to speak. And we didn't end up getting any food at the markets. We went home and got KFC.
Yeah. Welcome back to the Broner Pro podcast, where we hope to help you reach your full potential, whether it be physically or mentally. It's an interesting podcast because we are rebranding the podcast. So that's probably the last time I'm going to say the Broner Pro podcast. So
say goodbye to that intro now.
Yes. To our fellow listeners, we do appreciate the love and the support that you guys have shown us. We are just so excited to start this new chapter, I would say, in the rebranding of the Broner Pro. And the reasons being, because I got the pro.
We now have two pros in
we
the
have
house.
Two pros. So, obviously, I am your main host, Jeremy Soh, IFBB Men's Physique Pro, joined together with my co-host, Nicole Tan, IFBB Bikini Pro. Obviously, we've been in the industry for a very long time, about 15 years, 30 years probably combined, to be fair, competing for a very long time. The last couple standing, I would say, like compared to 12 years ago.
I guess.
And we have stayed strong. So we've obviously seen it all. So with our experience and our experience as coaching as our full-time job and, you know, competing competitively as well. Obviously, I'm turning pro, so I can't say I've been in the pro circuit yet, but we're in the works. We do share a lot of knowledge and experience that we hope to share with all of you. And the rebrand, you know, calling it the Pro Standard Podcast has a lot of meaning because we want to create a platform for the professionals or the IFBB pros to share their stories, you know, and calling it the Pro Standard is not about just being a pro in life, but purely just setting a higher standard for yourself, because I think everyone deserves more. And I think like that's where we want to teach people and educate people, give them the tools they need to really level themselves up physically and mentally, similar to what we're doing in the Broner Pro.
Yeah.
So I'm probably going to be saying a lot of things, obviously, our fellow listeners. But now that I've got, I guess now the credibility of being a pro.
The bro becomes a pro.
The bro becomes a pro. So we're excited to start this new chapter. Obviously, as you can see, we are in a new setup.
New location.
We are at what we call the world famous Doherty's Gym in Perth. Number one bodybuilding gym in Perth. And we are so glad to be here. We're excited. The owners, Brendan, obviously looked after us. We are using his office as our podcast room. And yeah, this is a whole new chapter. Myself, obviously, Nicole, and we've got Blake, who's the best videographer in Australia, we'll call him. Yes, because he deserves to. And so obviously this is our joint venture together to bring something special to you guys, to really bring high level content to you guys. And we'll love if you guys can share, you know, any questions and, you know, anything you have about, you know, competing or just even life or topics, being, you know, couple things as well. Yeah. We're gonna do a lot of fun stuff. We got a lot of stuff planned. We got a lot of pros in the works that we're gonna be chatting to. So if there's other pros that you just want to know more about them, this is the platform that we want you to tell us. So then that way we can get them, you know, scheduled in, booked in to do that podcast and just share their story as well.
Yeah, this will be a big collaboration from both us and you guys as the audience. We want to bring to you guys what you want to see more of. And obviously what we'll bring to the table is obviously us, not just as coaches, but as competitors, now as pros, and obviously also as a couple. So these are the things and topics, I guess, we're going to be mainly talking about. But we're really happy to talk about like literally anything at all. You know, we'll be obviously bringing in like some big name pros to come chat about their journey. But you can also ask them any fun questions or anything you would like to know. Any hard, like, you know, would you rather questions or whatever, anything you want to hear from a pro of, we're happy to like talk about.
Yes, and even coaching as well. We run a full-time business as well, And obviously doing that for so long, whether it be personal training, in-person coaching, we love any questions that you guys, the more questions we get, the more better information we can share, on our
really
own
interactive
experience
as well with you guys, of course.
Yes. And we're going to be doing some fun stuff as well. So we're kind of excited. Debatable things that couples debate about. So be excited for that.
But first things first, obviously it's been a big gap since our last episode. We did do an episode where I did interview Jeremy after his first attempt at the pro card last year. It's been a year since then. So I guess for today's episode, we'll be mainly letting Jeremy fill you guys in on what has happened in the year leading up to him turning pro, all his feelings and the journey getting there. Obviously, a lot of you guys listening, you all probably have big dreams of turning pro. And some of you probably have maybe only competed in one show and you're really upset that you didn't get your pro card. Jeremy's been trying to get his pro card for like 10 years now. So the first time he got close to a pro card, because last season he placed third at nationals, but he was not in the running for a pro card. This is only his second shot at a pro card, but he was in overalls actually fighting for a pro card. And the last time that happened was 10 years ago at the Arnold. So he won his medium height class at the Arnold. He was battling it out with the short class and tall class winner, and that was the last time he got really close. And ever since then, obviously, it's been a really long and hard journey. So if any of you are on this same journey, don't get disheartened by, one placing where you didn't get what you want. You just started and you kind of feel so defeated from just quote unquote failures. It's not really a failure, right? You either succeed or you learn and get better for the next one, really, and you never really fail until you stop trying.
Thinking about it, it's the journey itself, it was a 5-year gap between obviously 4 to 5 years where I actually was done. I was you know what, I'm not going to focus on competing anymore. This is just, the guys was just getting way too big. And I'm just the protocols back then didn't allow me to succeed, And so obviously over those 5 years, I really focused on business. I am an all-in kind of person. If I'm going to do one thing, I'm going to go all into it. And so I knew that for me to be the best bodybuilder, I still had to sacrifice business and other things in life that I wasn't willing to do at the time. Obviously, I wasn't in the best position at the time. And so I focused on business, took off competing. That was out of my mind, focused on my clients, competing as well, and lifestyle clients, and growing the business as itself. And then after that, I've got the push, obviously, from Blake. If you guys don't know the story, it was at Korean barbecue, and they told me that I had to do it. If not, I was gay, And so the push was there. So when we got back on stage, obviously, I was excited to try the new protocols myself. Obviously, we learned so much in that 5 years. I was upskilling, experienced through coaching, learning so much and listening and reading and trying to really improve my skills as a coach. And I think that's where I was you know what, let's try these protocols. And I prepped myself. That's the reason why I did prep myself, because I was what happens if I actually implement all these protocols on me? Obviously, it was good. I won the state show, went to nationals, and that's where I overdid things and overthought things. And that's when I realized a coach is pretty handy at times to kind of pull you back at the right times, because I'm willing to do the work.
Yeah. The main difference, obviously, if you guys don't know, is that, so Jeremy hired a coach this time around. So It's not that Jeremy is incapable of coaching himself, but Jeremy is human like any of us, and we're all always going to be so hard on ourselves. And everyone has prep goggles, and you're always going to not be able to look at yourself objectively. And Jeremy usually is the opposite of when he looks at himself, he will always see the worst, and then he'll end up pushing way too hard, digging way too hard, and
I'm willing to suffer.
Just pushing it too extreme in the other levels. So he really needed someone to make sure he didn't do too much and dig too much and get too flat and depleted. Really wanted to bring a nice full physique to the stage. Jeremy always ends up being a little bit on the flatter side, I would say, from pushing too hard. So this time was probably the biggest and fullest kind of physique you brought to the stage, which is definitely what's required right now in the men's physique division. Everyone is really round and full, nice structure and all that kind of stuff. So I think this time getting a coach definitely was a big difference. for Jeremy's prep, and also mentally as well.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, you still struggled mentally, let's be real. I think only the people that are close, obviously, me and Blake were like front row seats to be witnessing this. We also had a bunch of friends that came to like stay with us when we were in Melbourne before the Nationals and stuff. And to be honest, I think everyone sees Jeremy as a very like confident person, but like I said, he's only human like everyone else.
Exactly.
And he really was not in the best place mentally. So
Well, like-
let's talk a little bit more about like your mindset kind of leading into it. People always ask you, how did you feel? Did you think you were going to win? What is the answer to that? Did you think you were going to win?
I think I've gotten to the spot, and I was talking to someone about this, and they say, you got the elite athlete mindset that, in this sport, it's very subjective. So I know that on any given day, and I'm going to be honest, like, I don't think, and I say this to other people, but I truly believe it, that if I were to compete against Season C, I might not necessarily win. Because on that given day, I was just the best on the day. I was the look that they wanted and what the judges liked, and maybe other people missed the mark. So obviously, that's what competing's like. And I knew on that day, maybe the stars were aligned, and I won my pro card. I don't have the confidence to say that if I were to compete Season C this year, that I could repeat the same thing and win again. Because you don't know who's going to rock up. It's out of our control. So to be fair, I was going to the show not 100% sure I was going to win. I knew I was, obviously natural progression, I knew I was contending for it. I've always been like close to contending, even in the past. I'm always kind of contending in the sense that, I was maybe one of the favorites that would be like, oh, hey, this guy, if he brings it, it's going to be his, So I was in that realm of, okay, you know what? If I compete, I'm always going to be in the echelon of like, okay, he's in the first call out. He's going to be competing for it, like in that sort of sense. So natural progression wise, I knew that, if I was the best and what they were looking for, then yes, I would win. And going into it, I felt like I could have dug more because I'm so used to getting flat and getting depleted and doing, whatever I needed to do to get there. Whereas this approach was definitely about keeping that fullness. And yes, I could have been more conditioned. Everyone's going to argue, oh yeah, he could have been more conditioned. Great. But based on the day, I was the perfect blend of what they needed and what they wanted. Then you win, So yeah, I definitely told people around me, they like, to people I don't know, I'm obviously going to say like the positive things about prep and show that confidence. But behind the scenes, yeah, I mean, I'm human like anyone else. We have our own insecurities. We go through the exact same thought process that anyone does, whether you're first timer, beginner, intermediate, advanced, whatever level you're at, you still go through the same process of self-doubt and insecurity to an extent. And all the difference is that we manage it a little bit better.
What would be your advice for people who go through self-doubt? Because obviously, I would say 99.99% of competitors, like we all go through moments of self-doubt. So how did you get yourself out of those holes?
Put in the work. I think like self-doubt comes from, we all have it and we all deal with it differently. Everyone just needs to focus on the long term of this sport to know that your results will eventually do the speaking once you put in the work, and give yourself some time. And even then, know that this sport is subjective. No matter the outcome, no matter what happens, if you love what you do, you're just going to keep doing it. You're going to keep going in whatever, whether it be business, whether it be competing or any endeavor or ambition you have. I think you're always going to be, if you put in the work, you stay consistent long enough and you just enjoy it with a passion, then it doesn't matter what happens in the end. Did
you enjoy prep with a passion?
No, I hated it. I'm going to be real. The whole prep was hard mentally because it was just, obviously, I would say I'm not a good prepper. Some people might be better preppers. Like I've seen you prep and you're a great prepper in general. And then even my clients, and I've seen other people prep fine. Like they sleep fine, they wake up fine. Whereas when I go into prep, it's like 4 hours of sleep, doing cardio at 1, 2 a.m. in the morning and being up from then.
Yeah,
and
Jeremy was up at like 2 a.m. every day.
Yeah. So like I had nothing else to do. So I'll just go do an hour of Stairmaster every day for 7 days a week. So I would say prep wasn't that good. Like I'm not a good prepper.
Would you say the hardest part is just the energy dip of it all?
yes, it's not even the hunger. It's not actually the hunger that gets me personally. It's more so the energy dip.
Yeah.
Like just the energy to actually move, walk. Your need, obviously, as we know, drops. And in this case, like you just don't have the energy to do things. And if you're waking up only 4 hours of sleep, you're running on like literally no sleep. And trying to do that continuously, it just takes a toll on your body.
Yeah, I think like the cardio, the training, the steps that's all easy for Jeremy. It's just more so the mental fatigue he couldn't handle.
Yes.
And because usually he has a lot of things that he wants to do, his energy is so low during prep that like he literally cannot do like a lot of things that he would normally do if he had more energy. And I think that's what made him really dread being in prep, is the fact that like he couldn't do a lot of other things outside of like what he needed to do for prep. That's all he could manage to do. Like all energy he had just went into his training, his cardio, prepping, not really prepping his food, but like eating his food and just basically trying to survive another day.
Yeah.
It was like just take it one day at a time and then a day at a time.
I mean, going to the show, I was very adamant, obviously, as only people around me knew that this was gonna be the retirement show. Like, as in, I was pretty much set down, like, yeah, if I don't win, I'm gonna retire. I'm 34 years old. I'm at the age, I'm realistic, I'm not 27, gun-ho, like, I'm gonna get to Olympia. I'm already at the age where it's gonna be tough now to, like, obviously crack, get wins at pro shows and make it to Olympia. So I'm realistic in the sense that, I'm at, probably the end, and maybe I could probably come back in the future in Masters possibly. But being at that stage, I was pretty adamant on retiring after the show, and lo and behold, God, I think, has some ways of working his magic. And the show, I was adamant on retiring. Like, we set to go out to Europe literally a week after that, and like a week after the show, because I was like, I was going to retire.
Yeah.
And so then we went to Europe, and so then obviously I won my pro card. Then we went to Europe, and everything was just like, whoa, this just happened. Like, I just won the pro card that was natural progression of my life. So it was just surreal to feel that it's happened. To be fair, I feel like nothing has really changed, to be fair, in regards to being a pro, besides the opportunities, doing these sort of things, and obviously rebranding the podcast into the pro standard. Obviously, we didn't want to call it the Pro and the Pro podcast because it didn't really have a nice ring to it. And I started thinking, I was like, what is, something we can do for, the listeners and the people that follow this? Is like, we want to improve their standard of living, like the way they hold themselves, the values, the things morals they hold themselves to. And that's where we kind of want to go in this direction with this podcast, and do fun stuff as well. Like, just have fun, keep it real. I think we both have the experience to share, all aspects of life, really.
Yeah. So you said it doesn't really feel different apart from, I guess, like business endeavors and things like that right now. So as an athlete, has your mindset now changed now that you are pro? Do you now hold yourself to a higher pro standard because you are pro?
I mean, to be fair, it's true. Yeah, it definitely, nothing really changes besides a few things where, shit, I'm scared. I'm gonna have to visit the big boys now. So definitely there's a different level, and the genetics plays a massive role now, I think, being on that pro level. And I don't think I'm honest to know that, in my physique, I may not have the best genetics. Maybe to some people, they might like, oh, you have the great genetics and great shape and everything like that. But when you're in a pro standard, it's like the very minuscule things, like it's the overall look now. And so all I can focus on is like, I do hold myself on a higher standard in regards to like being a pro. And I want to make sure that I can have the empathy of being a pro and show people what it means to do that. But I think these are all developed when you're amateur anyways.
Yeah, I think being in the IFBB is very different from any other federation, especially me and Jeremy being the IFBB. We've also competed internationally, even as amateurs. Mm-hmm. We have gone around the world and seen how high the standard is. Mm-hmm. Even before Jeremy turned pro, obviously he came to the pro shows with me, and he's seen the level of the men's physique pros all around the world. He's watched the Pittsburgh Pro in person, and he's like, literally the guys in the last call outs even look freaking crazy. Like, everyone is so good. So I think that's part of being a pro, where like once you turn pro, yes, you are really proud that you have achieved like, you know, this new
The pinnacle.
milestone and stuff.
It's like the pinnacle of
It's the best
bodybuilding,
feeling in the world,
almost.
but then straight away you also immediately feel like almost bottom of the barrel again, like you're starting over, and like you just have so much respect for like every single person you step on stage with, that it's almost like, I feel like when a lot of people turn pro in the IFBB, that majority of them almost become more humble because you just know what you're up against now. Like, we grow up watching these Olympians and they're idols and things like that. And the moment we turn pro, our idols become our competitors. So immediately we shrink to this, you know, from like, you know, being so used to being in first call-outs. Like for you, it's like being first call-outs is not even an achievement for you as an amateur. Like, you're not going to be happy with
But this is
first
natural
call-outs.
progression.
Yes, even you winning your state show, that was, you know, you were happy, but you were not really that happy. Like,
it was
it's
just
different.
like it's a stepping stone, like,
Yeah.
you know, and that's where everyone's journey. People need to reflect back on their journeys, like where are they at? Like, some people have never competed before, and they're like road to pro. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. No,
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with having the ambition, but
Yes.
if you haven't won a state show, maybe just do that first.
Just
You know,
focus on one
like,
thing at a time.
like you can have the road to pro once you contend for that pro card a few times and be like, you know what, like road to pro, then you're almost there. But then like a lot of people set such high expectations, and it's fine to have high expectations, but if you're going to be salty after you lose,
And by losing, it just means like, or maybe you come second.
Yeah,
or
or
maybe
second.
you like
You didn't
just
get the
missed out
state
on,
win.
just missed out on the pro card, you know, and they get so upset, like it's, you know, just
It's
literally
not.
the end of the world. Actually, enjoy these moments, because, you know, coming close to a pro card and close to win and coming second and even coming third, sometimes once you turn pro, that is all that you want. You're like, oh my God, if I can even just come third, like I will thank the gods, you know? So it's
Yeah.
a whole different ball game. Really enjoy your amateur journey to the top.
yeah, especially in Australia.
Yeah.
Because like once you turn pro, there's no pro shows here.
Yeah.
So like hopefully you have set up your life that you can travel
Yes.
and go compete as a professional.
Yeah.
Because it's going to cost a lot of money. Because if you're going to expect all these sponsors to come out of nowhere and start sponsoring your flights, it's just a dream. Like, unless you have millions of followers and then you turn pro, yeah, more than likely you can find a sponsor.
It costs a
But
lot of money
if
to
you-
be a pro and compete as a pro.
Yes, if you don't have a massive following and you can't, create content, you're not going to get sponsors. Remember, sponsors are looking at business. They're trying to see how many people you can bring in, so into their business to benefit them. And so you got to be realistic that nothing really changes if you don't focus on, presenting yourself well. And
Yeah.
I think doing the prerequisite things before you turn pro.
Yeah. Especially like in a state show and stuff, really just enjoy competing in a state show. And if you do win your state show, like really treasure that moment, because it's probably going to be the last time ever that you're going to compete there. And that's what I keep telling to Jeremy, is when I told a couple of my pro friends when they were like competing in the state show as well. Obviously WA is a smaller state, and people just, I don't think they're as happy as they should be. You know, they win the state show and they're like, yeah, they almost like don't celebrate it enough. And I always have to remind people, like, this is probably, it might be the last time you're ever going to compete in WA. So really soak it in and like enjoy every moment.
I think I look very far forward, and I'm just excited to be in the pro ranks.
Yeah,
Even though
like-
I'm gonna make last call outs, the difference is that I may joke around and say I'm gonna make last call outs, but it does not mean that I'm not gonna put the work that's gonna require me to be a pro. Does that like kind of make sense? I'm gonna try not hard, and I'm not
obviously
gonna
gonna try your
I'm gonna
best.
give it all. Like, I'm gonna dream big, and I'm gonna go train as fucking hard as I can and try to bring my best physique possible. But you have to understand, on the pro level, I think there's going to be like a genetic profile that is going to be a look that they like. So you can have the most muscle in the world, but you could be bigger than, let's say, for example, men's physique. You could be bigger than Brandon Hendrickson, but his proportions looks 10 times better. He's going to keep winning, and you're not going to win. And so I know in hindsight that like I may not have a genetic profile, and that's why I want to do this first pro show. So I want to see where I stack against how far am I actually from the highest level Olympians, and see where they're at to really to see where I stack, and obviously decide whether or not like, is this something that I can pursue for longer? Because if I don't have the genetic profile and they're like, you've got to build everything or resize your proportions because of the men's physique has a weight cap, and if I'm above the weight cap, then like I don't want to like completely stop training legs, you know.
Well, a lot of people did comment to say that Jeremy, for men's physique guy, had really good legs. So, yeah.
It's actually common, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, so what are your next plans? How many weeks out are you? What shows are you going to do? What are your plans moving forward?
So after we have a quick Thailand trip, we obviously went to Europe, which we might talk in a future podcast. I'm going to aim for Dubai Pro and the Vietnam Pro. So the Dubai Pro being, it's 1 week apart. So Dubai Pro straight into Vietnam Pro. It's about like October time. The reason why I chose Dubai Pro is because it's got big prize money. The only reason I say this is not that I'm going to win the prize money. It's only because I think a lot of the Olympians will come there for easy money. Yeah, if you're already Olympian, you're most likely going to be gunning for that extra, I think $50,000 USD. And this is considered one of the highest prize pools in the world in any show. I think in normal pro shows, it might be $1,000 if you win first place. So understand that this is just like one of those shows besides outside of the Arnold's that you actually win some like 50,000 USD. So like there's actually money in this. But once again, it's going to be Olympians. So I just want the Olympians to be there so I can actually see how far I am off and what I'd look like standing next to them. Obviously, it gives me more insight into whether or not I have what it takes or I don't. Because obviously, if I'm going to be in last call-outs and they're like, you know, you need to improve all of this, then there's very far road to go from last call-outs to first call-outs. I mean, it's possible, but it may be a long 1-2 year journey of growing. And so that's where I want to kind of see where I stack. And then the Vietnam Pro, the only reason why it's a week out, there's not many pro shows by the end of the year. So that's the reason for these shows.
Yeah, and because Nicole is in charge of logistics, we also obviously, being a pro in Australia is difficult. Where Australia is so far from the rest of the world, everything is really far. So when we take into consideration, obviously, flight paths and things like that, Dubai is a direct flight from Perth, so that'll be an easy one. And then obviously Vietnam is not too far from Perth as well. So we'll probably be going from Dubai straight to Vietnam. But yeah, like Vietnam will be like, you know, same time zone as Perth and things like that. If you were to fly from Perth, you can fly direct to Vietnam as well. So for anyone who resides in Perth or Australia in general, like Vietnam is definitely one of the few shows that we can get to relatively easily. So yeah, these are the things that we have to consider now as pros, is that like it's always going to be quite a long flight away, at least a 7 to 8 hour minimum. You should expect to fly.
Yeah. I mean, the choice could have been to do some American shows, but even then they fall in like November, December time, which we personally have some personal events that we're attending to. So we won't have, like, going to those shows will be not really an option for myself. So that's why it had to be October time before these events that we have in November, December. I mean, I would have loved to stand in front of American judges. Obviously, my coach is from America. But at the end of the day, hopefully a lot of the Americans will fly to Dubai for this, you know, obviously if they're Olympians, I'll still be able to stand next to them, and that will set the standard for that show.
Well, the show you're doing in Vietnam is actually a muscle contest show, so that it is pretty much like American, what do you call it, like show promoters. So muscle contest is an American show, and then Tamer is going to be the head judge as well.
Yes,
and he judges like Olympia and a lot.
And he organized. I think he organizes Olympia.
Yeah,
he's the event organizer for it. So he's very like, he knows what he's looking for and stuff.
Yeah.
So like it definitely will be good because they know what the standard is. Like you can't be too much muscle. You have to be the right shapes. So like hopefully I'll get some good feedback and kind of decide in the future of the sport of like whether or not I want to continue and how long is it going to take me to get me to that next level.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Or was there anything else you want to tell people about your pro journey to come?
Not really.
Yeah, well, stay tuned. We'll continue to keep you guys
we'll
updated
definitely
anyways.
like if you guys have questions, always feel free to shoot them through.
Yeah,
you know, we're more than happy to answer them. But that was our whole detour. So this is why we haven't done the podcast. I think the last time we did it would have been just before prep. I think maybe or maybe just after the first show last year. We may have done did we do a podcast after?
We did one after you competed.
Yes, so we did one after I competed last year. So that was probably the last one. And obviously now we're going to be regular. So tune in because we are going to be doing weekly episodes.
Yes.
We are going to really ramp this up so we can share stories. We can really get you guys involved in the sport. And hopefully we can create a community that, you know, is less toxic, you know?
If you want like weekly like prep updates from Jeremy as well, any questions you have about like what he's doing or whatever. Like,
You may see my face go from chubby to leaner, and hopefully it shows in the next.
hopefully you
once I
don't
start
see
cutting.
too much of his energy dipping.
Yeah,
as well,
that's why
which
me and Nicole will make sure to be doing this together, so she will fill the gaps
I
when
may
I'm
just
brain
have
dead.
to carry the podcast.
Or maybe Blake will jump in and take over as well.
Yeah, maybe it'll just be me and Blake for the last couple of weeks. Before Jeremy's
Jeremy's
show.
dead just behind the camera, like you know.
We also wanted to give you a little bit of an update on like obviously what we're doing here. So right now we obviously have a new setup and a new place and everything, but we're slowly going to keep improving everything. First of all, we have new mics at the moment as well. We're going to obviously have even more mics when we have people join us
Yes.
here.
We got a few plans. So
Yeah.
we want to like clad this wall here. We obviously want to put stuff up on the TV.
Yeah, so this TV we just put up.
The TV we just put up. Me and Blake set it up, and so we just want to like share the background logos. Maybe play some like promo stuff.
Any
in the
sponsors
future.
that would like to sponsor our podcast, we could have your logo here
Exactly.
from time to time. So yeah, if you would like to sponsor our podcast,
Yeah,
please
but
reach
this
out to
this
us.
this is just gonna keep improving. To be fair,
Yeah.
because this is our first episode, so we had to fill in a lot of different things. Obviously, Blake brought a lot of the things like the lighting, the cameras, and he did forget our actual podcast box. So, but this sort of things happens, and this is why the first episode is not gonna be perfect. But I'm sure this is a high quality that
Yeah.
you guys are gonna see. We want to keep this feeling good, but also share it on YouTube.
Yes.
We obviously share this onto like Spotify and Apple Podcasts as well.
So if a lot of you are just our audio only listeners, definitely do tune into the YouTube to see this room morph with us.
Yes.
We're also going to have, right now, today, we just have 2 cameras, but eventually we'll have 3 cameras. Lighting might change a little bit here and there. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of leveling up, especially mainly visually.
Yes.
So do join us on YouTube to watch the podcast. But of course, we will always still have audio available, and we'll make sure the audio is of the highest quality that we possibly can.
Exactly. So
So obviously, me and Jeremy, we I guess, do everything together. We do the same thing. We're both pros now. We work together, live together, literally
Full time,
do
yeah.
full time, everything together. And we do a lot of the same things. And so people might think we always agree on everything and we're on the same page. But people who don't know us, we are very, very, very different people. We have very, very different opinions on things. And the people who are close to us, Blake, will probably see us bicker 90% of the time. So we always have things we bicker about, and sometimes we can't come to a conclusion on obviously who is right. So we thought, why not bring all our bickers to the podcast, and you guys can help us come to a conclusion
Yes.
of things we bicker about, and we also want to know more about what you guys bicker about with your partners. And obviously Blake is also married, so he will also bring his bickers through to the podcast, and we can discuss as a whole.
we're gonna have our debates on
Our
here.
little
And,
debates.
and to be fair, the good thing is that we're not malicious in the debates we have.
No.
It's not toxic to the extent that we're arguing. We're just opinionated.
It's even nothing. It's always something stupid as well. Because then we sound, because we're very passionate about it, and we'll just get into a full on not really screaming match, but we both definitely raise our voice, and and it's
Hey,
always
I have
about.
a low tone voice. You have a high frequency voice.
But your voice is loud.
Oh yeah, true.
You're
Okay.
booming,
Hey,
you know.
I'm booming.
Yeah, see, Blake
booming.
is nodding right
I'm
now.
like a subwoofer.
He booms, A lot of times when I don't know where Jeremy is, I can always find him through his voice. He has a very loud, booming voice. So yeah, it's going to be very small, minuscule things, but it might be fun things to debate about. So
What are we gonna call the segment?
well, the segment is going to be called Couples That Bicker. So
Bicker.
yeah, that bicker, because we bicker all the time.
Bigger.
Bicker.
Bigger.
Bicker.
A bicker. Yeah. Already started. I thought it has begun. This
It
is
has
the
begun.
example. I swear
has
she just
begun.
said bigger, but she said bicker. So
Write
bicker.
it in the comments if you heard me literally say
Okay,
bicker
well, it's
10
different because
times.
you have the mic, and I maybe read the mouth. But anyways, couples that bicker. All right, so Blake is going to be joining in on this segment.
Yeah.
We're going to slowly
Well, let's
introduce
tell
him.
them how we even came about the idea for this segment. So
just-
basically, we were in Europe.
Oh yes, the Europe one.
We
Yeah.
ordered a really nice dessert. It was like a nougat dessert. Okay, so we were eating it.
Did you guys know what nougat is?
Okay, well, I mean, I
Yes.
hope everyone knows what a nougat is. Otherwise, Ian, pop a photo of a nougat right here.
Yes.
So
yeah.
yeah, so nougat. everyone knows what a nougat is. We were having like a nougat dessert in this really nice restaurant. We're having a great time. And so I was happily enjoying the dessert and there was like a little nut and I spat it out. Okay. And
Little nut, she reckons.
And then Jeremy was very offended at the fact that I spat that nut out. And then he literally said to me, well, you don't like nougat then because you spat the nut out. And I was like, no, I like nougat. I just don't like the nut. And he's like, you can't like nougat if you don't like the nut. And I'm like, why can't I like nougat just because I don't like the nut? Because nougat is the nougat part of the nougat. And the nut is a nut. Even if you don't like nuts, you can still like nougat.
No, but the idea is that the majority of a nougat is probably 70% nuts.
Then why don't they just call it nut?
No, but like it's the nougat. Like
because
nougat,
it's a
like
nougat.
no, but like you can't have a nougat without the nuts.
I think there actually is some nougat that
And,
doesn't have
Blake,
nuts,
what's
though.
your take on this?
I completely agree with Nicole on this one. Because the nougat is the nougat.
Yes.
And the nuts is the nuts. It's just a filling. It's just like a sandwich. It's a sandwich, but it has different things in it.
Yeah. So just because if you don't like
No, but that's exactly it. It's like a sandwich.
You can have a sandwich. Like 2 pieces of bread is a sandwich.
yes.
Yeah? But then you put lettuce and ham in the middle. It's still a sandwich.
If you don't like the lettuce and you take the lettuce out, you still like the sandwich.
I mean, to be fair, it's fair. It's fair.
And we convince you that like the nougat is the nougat and the nut is the nut. So you can still like nougat
It's
even
just a
if you don't
filling.
like nuts.
You go to Yochi, you have just, the yogurt. That's fine. That's still Yochi. You put the toppings on top, it's still Yochi.
Yes. Even though majority of your yochi might be toppings, you see, because some people put a lot of toppings.
Yeah, but
No.
So, but the brand concept of Yochi is grab your yogurt. Yes, correct.
So do you think if you
Wait,
don't like
no,
toppings,
no.
you don't like yochi? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, it's the brand concept though. It's the concept of the idea that Yochi is created and does really well because the yogurt is good, but they have the idea of putting toppings on it.
But if you don't like toppings,
And
you
the
still like
toppings.
yochi.
Yeah.
I mean, you could like the yogurt,
Yeah,
but
you
not
still...
Yochi.
No, you
Because
still...
Yochi is yogurt plus toppings.
Yeah. And
That's the whole idea. No. That's what I'm saying. So as in, if you like the yogurt from Yochi, you just like the yogurt.
but then you can also
You can't call it Yochi because Yochi's brand concept would be, I would assume so. I'm not a Yochi representative here, so don't come to us. This is all just how I say. But I would assume that
Yochi, feel free to sponsor the segment.
Yeah, actually, we love Yochi. So if you guys want to sponsor us, great. But Yochi, the effect is the brand concept. If you think about it, that's how they've done so well. If they just sold the yogurt with Yochi sauce.
getting off topic here.
Let's go back to the nougat.
But it goes back to the nougat. Exactly,
Okay,
that's
so
it.
back to the
so
nougat.
the concept of the nougat, it's usually the nuts, or I don't know what sort of nuts they use, but it's the nuts and the nougat. You don't just order a nougat like without the nuts.
But it was a nougat
Can you get it?
flavored dessert.
Where have you gotten a nougat without the nuts? Just alone.
I actually think you can.
you can 100%
I think
because you can also get chocolate covered nougat.
Yes, there's different kinds of nougat.
But it's chocolate covered with nuts.
No. I think there's no nuts.
No, I don't think.
I think there's like nougat with fruit as well. So there's like nougat and then like the fruit in there.
I don't think you can. And Blake's searching up now, which
It's good that we have someone to someone to do the research for us. Fact checked.
he's fact checking right now to make sure.
We need a fact checker. But so conclusion is that I think you can still say that you
Now he's
like
gonna look it up
nougat.
now. I'm confident that you can't find it. You can't buy nougat.
Maybe
alone.
just ask,
He's looking right now.
does
He's
nougat
searching.
always have
He's
nuts?
searching hard.
It's coming up with recipes. So.
Oh, you know what we should ask? ChatGPT. Is a nougat?
Does nougat always have nuts?
Is nougat without the nuts still a nougat?
I bet you it's gonna
Oh
say
yeah.
yes.
Okay.
It's a
Okay,
very
so-
standard-
Okay. Fair enough. But for me, it's the concept of the idea.
Okay, anyways, we are currently at 2-1. Me and Blake think even if you don't like the nuts, you still like nougat. Jeremy is still very adamant on his point of view. So we would like to know you guys' point of view.
Yes, nougat without nuts is still nougat.
That's
But
ChatGPT.
if
Doesn't
ChatGPT
count. It can't think.
While
yes.
traditional French or Italian nougat are famous for including nuts.
Okay, so traditionally,
No, let him finish.
no. You see, it depends. ChatGPT works on how you ask the question. So traditionally, I am correct in believing that nougat is a nougat with the nuts. Traditionally, like that's how it should be. Like, you know how you complain about tiramisu? You always say, "Oh, this ain't a tiramisu without like the, what do you call it? Like the base, like the actual more of the cake, right?" But when we were in Europe, we had tiramisu that was more of is a mascarpone or
mascarpone, yeah.
Mascarpone, correct? And you were like, "Oh, I don't like this."
Yeah,
then
but
I'm like, "You only like tiramisu with more base." But it's
That's
still, it's
personal
no
preference though. I still like a tiramisu. Someone who likes more of the mascarpone and someone who likes like it with more base. Both people still like tiramisu. They just have different ways.
It's so the soft chewy bit is nougat.
My
That's
point.
nougat.
Yes.
So so they've got here some nougat contains nuts, or if they don't have nuts, chocolate, malt, or vanilla. Asian nougat, they
Nah.
put marshmallow.
No, it doesn't count. No, you see, like, I don't care what ChatGPT says.
No.
We're not using Chat.
No. Let me finish. French style nougat is nut free, but sometimes they put dried fruits in it
See?
or freeze
All right.
dried.
Well, we want to see what people's point of views are. So,
I think we're winning this. But anyways, we would like you guys
Yeah.
to know. Also, we're also going to save this question for our guests. I think,
maybe there's a lot of we want to keep it new and
Yeah.
every updated one. So if we keep it just one, then it may
Yeah.
get. So once again, if you do have comments about this, feel free
Yeah,
to
please
shoot
let
us in
us
the
know
DMs.
whether you're-
Who's winning this, Team Nicole or Team Jeremy?
Yes.
So far, Team
Leave it in the
Nicole is
comments
winning
below.
2-1. Blake's on Team Nicole's side.
Yeah, so 2 to
I'm
1
losing.
at the moment on this topic. So after we had the debate, we decided that obviously we bring it to the podcast, and then we're like, all right, let's look at other topics that we could possibly debate
Mm-hmm.
about. So yeah, what is our next one?
So the next question we have that I guess we don't really bicker about, but it's something that we noticed.
It's been a
that
long-term
obviously-
thing
It's a long-term thing. Should you remember your partner's number?
by heart. So I know Jeremy's mobile number by heart. I've known it for many years now. He does not know my mobile number. And we wanted to know if you guys think it's important to memorize your partner's mobile number.
So first of all, we'll ask Blake. Should you remember your partner's number? Do you remember Justine's number?
Only up until recently. I didn't believe it was a thing, and I still don't.
Oh, yes. It might be a male thing. So if all the males out there agree that yes, we don't remember our partners, why? Okay, so how did you?
The only reason I remembered it was because just like filling out flight details, and
Yes.
it was pissing me off.
That you had to look
I
at
had
your
to look
phone,
at my phone.
emergency contact.
Yes.
Exactly. Yes.
Yes, exactly. Because you always need the details of your emergency contact.
And I always end up putting like my sister or something, or like my mom's like home number, because I'm like, they didn't need to know this.
So Jeremy's always my emergency contact. So I think it's like just easier for me to remember.
But to be fair, you do all the itinerary for all our bookings, so
Yes.
I think you naturally
I
learn
fill in all the
it over
forms.
time. But yeah, I never found a need to be fair.
So
And
say
I don't know.
what happens if like, your phone dies and you just
Yeah, I'm screwed.
That's it. You're done.
Yeah, it's just
You're
done.
done.
Just the end.
We kind of had that experience in Taiwan at the markets when Nicole was back at home and we didn't really know how to speak. And we didn't end up getting any food at the markets. We went home and got KFC.
Yeah. Yeah, that KFC was good.
It was
Yeah, that was really good.
what
We'll watch it
happened to your
fast
phone
furious.
at the market?
I think I
died?
forgot your number. Yeah.
But
yeah.
so your phone died.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we didn't obviously know how to speak.
We couldn't speak the language, and now I can't speak another language.
What
I can
happens
speak
when Jeremy
English.
relies on me way too much anytime we leave Perth. So in Perth, I would say like
You have to understand that the reason why I don't remember your number is because we live at home. We work at home. We live at home. We're at home all the time together. So I don't really need to remember your number. Like, I don't even message you that much because we literally see each other all day, every day. The only time we may not see each other is we both go to the gym separately, which we always do as well. And that will be the only time. Outside of that, I'm like, do I really need to remember this? Not really. And, phones are really great now. My phone's always charged and I always stay on top of charging it. Like, I have a set routine of how I charge my phone. So it never really dies that off, like, ever. Like, I've never had a situation, massive situation besides Taiwan, where it dies. So, yeah, realistically, I don't think there's a need.
I think maybe the person that fills in more of the forms of things, like not just like travel forms, but like, because I do all like, say, you know, loan docs, mortgage docs, like anything that requires filling in of information. It's always me filling in everything.
Correct. So you naturally remember it over the time. I think you didn't like go over your way to be like, I need to remember this.
No,
Like,
I just thought it'd be more convenient for me to memorize your number. That's why
Yeah.
I memorized it many, many years ago. Just made it easier.
yeah. So I guess it's awkward because it's not really like we're bickering about it. I don't think we kind of
We just
bicker.
wanted to know what everyone else does. Like,
Yeah,
does this-
we're interested to know.
yeah.
Like,
Do you guys memorize your partner's number? Or if you don't, do you think you should? Do you think it would be easier if you did? Let us
honestly,
know.
it would be easier. I would agree 100%. It's probably better for me to remember it. But yeah, I don't know. I think I'm just too lazy to do it. So I don't know. It might be a men thing.
Do you think you would want to try and remember it one
I think
day?
majority of the guys don't remember their partner's number, but the girl remembers their partner's number.
Let's see. I want to know.
I think guys are a bit more like, you know what? If I was going to call someone, if it's emergency, I'm calling 000.
Does Justine remember your number?
Oh, ho, ho, ho.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Oh, she does. And she has for a while, is it?
Yeah. She's known my number since probably the second day after dating.
Now you're making it sound like your business is crazy. She remembered your number.
So far,
Forced into marriage.
What's that signal? Just in case you get Blake. Oh, he's blinking. He's blinking behind the camera right now. Yeah.
so I guess right now the conclusion is that most girls remember their partner's number and the guys don't.
I reckon it's a thing. I 100% reckon that a lot of guys out there do not remember their partner's number, and it's not that we don't care. You have to understand. You know,
It's not a don't care.
yeah, don't care thing. It's just we just don't think it's necessary. Like the phones are great, and if we're gonna call someone, I think deep down we're gonna call emergency like 000 if it's like life or death. I think we're just more confident that we're safer as guys. I think.
I mean, yeah, for me as well, it's like only because of recently I've been traveling without her, like for the Pro League stuff.
Yeah.
And I was just sick of having to pull my phone
Yes.
to
That.
remember my emergency contact. So that
Yes.
otherwise we travel together. So it's
It's not really needed.
then it's the same thing with you. Like I go home, she's there. Like,
Yeah.
like we're always together.
Yeah.
It's not a yeah.
Oh, you'll come to a situation where about I really need to call Justine right now.
Yeah.
Like yeah. So, so I think it's fair. I think it's very fair because we're together all the time. There's no need for it. So I think for the majority of males, correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, I think most males do not remember their partner's number.
All right, I think like that's enough debating for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this new segment that we have included. We will take mental notes of all the little squabbles we have and like write down.
Yes, and if you guys have those squabbles or those bickerings, feel free to send it through to us. We'll love to debate it on here for you.
Yes.
And hopefully see your point of view and see, yeah, where you're kind of at. We might agree on some things as well.
we may agree. Sometimes we may disagree more on certain things and then agree more on others. Who knows? But we will help you come to a conclusion in any of the fights that you guys may have.
Yes. And we'll definitely be doing more different segments of this show to see what people like. So if you do like this segment of the show, feel free to let us know and we'll continue doing it. If not, then we will find something else because we have a few other things that we want to do.
Yeah. But that's it for episode 1. Thank you guys for tuning back in.
And if you can share and subscribe, like, send us comments, questions, a whole bunch of things would be amazing. If you can reshare it on your stories and make sure to tag us as well, we would appreciate that so much.
Catch you guys in the next one.
See you guys.